Hey guys, I'm Holly and I'm bringing you one of my most important videos I've probably ever made today. This is about you. Hi. Hi, Deborah. Hey guys, I'm Holly. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I bring you one of the most important videos I've ever made. How do we know we're ready for our first full marathon? How can we have confidence stepping up to that starting line, knowing we're gonna be safe through this, healthy through this, and capable of pushing through when it gets hard? I make this video today to encourage you and bust some myths that have kind of floated around in the running space for many years. I want you guys to understand the point of a training plan and every workout within it so that you don't feel so scared if days get missed, if runs go poorly, etc. We're breaking it down in 4 categories today. I think I'm going to cover everything you could possibly need. And by the end of this video, you should know whether you're ready or not. Let's go. Now, a lot of people believe that a perfectly executed marathon training plan equals perfect race day, perfect first marathon. That is not necessarily true, and I want to share with you my philosophy behind training plans because there are so many out there and so many mentalities, strategies getting you ready. Ultimately, everybody wants you to get to the start line feeling like you can do this. But if we don't learn important lessons along the way and learn how to problem solve with failures that inevitably come up throughout the training plan, we're actually a lot less capable on race day. You want to know what to do when things get tough, both physically and mentally. You also want to know that yes, as we increase mileage over the training plan, the higher we get in mileage, yes, the less daunting 26 feels, but we maybe don't need to do so many crazy long runs leading up to it if we are actually getting the benefits from our other workouts. Now, of course, the training plan is going to give you physical ability to go run the marathon, right? You're getting out there day after day, you're sweating, you're building resistance, building strength against impact when you're out on the road, you're hopefully incorporating some strength workouts as well, and you're taking care of your body with stretches, warm-ups, and cool-downs to maintain your body's state throughout that repetition. For those of us who have never done a training plan, never even had a regular workout schedule, a good running training plan leading up to the marathon might be the ticket to giving you actual discipline around your physical activity. This might be the first time in your life where it finally becomes more normal to work out than to not work out. And that in itself is a massive, massive change. So that's really important. Once we're rolling with that discipline piece and showing up even on days we don't want to, I urge you guys then to look at the training plan and the volume on all of the long run days. You might see 14, 16, 18, 20 miles all back to back in those weeks. And I urge you to look at those and realize you have a choice every single time you look at the plan. This can be manipulated, this can be flexible. You want to show up to be your healthiest version on race day. This brings me to point 2, how important is the long run day each week? What does it give us physically and mentally that actually ensures our success on race day? Yes, on the paper, I told you, of course, we see 18, 20 miles. Once we've gotten through those, we can trust we're gonna be able to get through 26. It's a lot less scary. But on an actual physiological basis, on that long run day, what are we getting out of it? One of the reasons I love running so much is that it's completely dependent on your hard work. Your body and mind are the only reason you are finishing a race on race day. And I love that. There's no subjectivity. Nobody's deciding whether you're going to finish or not. It's up to you. And so I say that to tell you that your long run day is about creating tests for your body, seeing how it holds up, seeing what it needs to be able to hold up against that mileage and that impact. 2 things at play here. Strength, of course. What is our actual body capable of? Do we have that resistance built up? Do we have that muscle tissue strong? Our joints taken care of? We're mobilizing. We're making sure we're healthy enough to land for thousands and thousands of steps. And the second piece is, have we created a system physically in our form to allow us to go over and over and over again without getting hurt, without getting sidelined? If you go out for 10 miles and you get through it but can't walk for 4 or 5 days after, that tells you something. We don't have the form down yet, probably, and or we aren't strong in our body to support that impact that we feel out there running. Yes, this is the point of building up mileage. The more of it we do, the more of it we can resist against. We trust that our body is prepared for the length of whatever race we're doing. Now, I say this to remind you, though, there are ways to build up our strength and our form that don't require endless pounding the pavement. So when you have a training plan that's asking you to run 5-6 days a week for a long time on a lot of those days, You might be able to get the same benefit with just a little bit more creative types of workouts, some drill days, really focusing on the best, most efficient form so that your large muscles are doing the brute of the work when you go out there. It's not your shins, it's not your calves, it's not your hips being lazy. When you add that strength work in, which doesn't need to take a long time, even a 30-minute session, can you build up the support system to again resist the road? All these things can be done in ways that don't necessarily take as much time as some training plans are written for. And I say all this to tell you that if you do miss one of the 6 runs in that week, that is okay. There are ways to build up your body for 26 miles that can happen in actually a pretty short time. So we don't need to see it as, shit, we missed that run. We are going to fail inevitably because we missed that run. There are a lot of ways to work around a training plan. We have to trust our bodies and use the long run days as feedback. And the final piece of long run day that really is important in you getting through your marathon is hydrating and bringing in that nutrition in a way that works for your body. Everyone's different. You have to do trial and error with your foods and your electrolytes and your water intake to know that you have a system in place for 26 miles. The long run day gives us that opportunity, that trial and error in a safe space. Do we have a system that keeps our energy sustained throughout? If we don't, we know we will fail on race day. This brings me to point 3. We can do all the physical preparation in the world, but if our mind isn't also ready to fight on race day, we're kind of screwed. I guarantee everybody watching this right now will hit a low on race day, but you will be able to come out of it if you have tools to do so. If you put yourself in positions to fight through with your mind only when your body is completely 100% done, you will be so much better off on race day, I promise you. When I did my first marathon, right on the dot at mile 20, I hit that wall. I don't know if it was because I expected to hit the wall at 20 and everyone talks about it, or if I actually did, but I remember fighting through my teeth to push on and just put one foot in front of the other. And I totally attribute that success through that point in the race to my mind. My mind at that point had to be stronger than my body if I was going to continue. So I encourage you guys to really make sure that no matter what training plan you're on, you have a few good opportunities to really be in the pits with your body and use your mind only to push through, saying one foot in the other, just one foot in front of the other. That's it. Sometimes all you can do is walk. That's fine. At least you're moving forward. But these things we can't learn if we never get tested leading up. I also want to take this moment to say that real life experience can also be a test for the mind. We don't have to just push ourselves through 20 miles in a training run to find these low moments. For example, in a week that's really chaotic, maybe work is insane, some family member is sick, things are coming up left and right, there's a lot of stress. The fact that you maybe got your 3 workouts in that week anyway is already a mental game. That is already mental strength, figuring out how to do it and push on anyway. You might be completely exhausted, no sleep, but you got out and did it anyway. I'm not saying to do that all the time, but that is an opportunity to put the mind to the test despite how you're feeling. Look for these things. Look for challenges in that way. And anytime you're feeling really beat down, test and see, can my mind actually push on even a second longer, a minute longer to get me through this? This is all great preparation for that race day. It's really, really important. If you've never felt a low, it's going to be that much scarier on race day. One quick add-on, guys, it's just worked so well for me, the 30% rule. I can't remember who I first heard it from, maybe Goggins, but when you're in the hole, empty, you feel like you couldn't take another step, you have 30% left to give. I have gone by that every single time. I've seen it pay off. And if I didn't ask my mind to push on to get my body back into motion, I wouldn't have been able to see that play out. But because I was able to strengthen, know that my mind was capable of getting me back in the zone, to ask more from my body, I was able to do it and see it executed. So just know that if you can practice that a few times and see yourself in real time going through and doing it anyway, you will realize how much is left when your mind starts to want to give up. The final piece here to eradicating our fears around the marathon and ensuring we're going to show up and be strong through the whole 26.2 miles is having a toolbox. knowing our solutions to problems that could arise. When we go in with preparation, knowing what to do, trusting ourselves to execute, we have a lot less fear and a lot more confidence. This comes from repetitions, of course, and training runs, but it also comes from basic research. I have done so much research myself, and this is why I always build these videos on the channel to share with you guys the best things that have worked for me, so that you can't have any surprises that throw you off too much on race day. It's inevitable that going to run 26.2 miles is going to bring up some challenges. Could be a blister, overheating. You might be nauseous. Things can come up, and they will, but they always pass, and they pass a lot quicker when you have something to grab or do to mitigate the problem. As soon as you start to feel something, you should know what it is that you're feeling and how to fix that problem or what to ask for in terms of the next aid station, etc. You get this experience, of course, through months of training. Those long runs teach us a lot. Like I said, basic small runs. You might have runs during the summer that have really knocked you out. Why did they knock you out? Were you dehydrated? No electrolytes? Did you not eat enough that day or eat too much too soon? All those things teach you over and over and over again, such that when you get to race day, you know exactly what you want to eat, when you need to eat before. Going to the bathroom, having the tools for your feet. Do you need blister prevention? Everything has been worked out. You know what shoes you're in. The same way we prep our body and mind, we also prep the logistics for defense against miles of running in any conditions, depending on the weather, terrain, etc. So I just urge you guys to do that research part. Don't get overwhelmed, but just be at the starting line, trusting yourself to get through anything that comes up. That is a massive part of the confidence and not being scared of this thing. I really, really, really know you guys are going to finish your marathon if you put all this into play and you don't get so worked up about the mileage and not perfectly jumping up 10% or less or whatever every single week. You can get through this. You've watched me train in your own way. You can be flexible here, and you can really create the training plan that works best for you and hopefully keeps you encouraged to keep signing up for races. If something is so intense that we burn out every time we do it, it's not really that fun, and it makes us less and less wanting to even sign up for the next race. So my best advice for you guys is just create something sustainable that fits in with your life, gets you excited, gets you feeling strong, good, capable, everything you want for that marathon and beyond. Maybe one day you'll be looking at my 100-miler videos. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you subscribe. I hope you write a comment in this video, request anything in the future, and I will see you soon. See you soon. Bye.